All right. So as I was saying, I was quoting one of the very famous traders and investors, Mr. Warren Buffett. So one of his very famous quotes says that the more you learn, the more you earn. And I hope every one of you agree to this. Today, all of us are doing jobs and businesses to earn our money, but to become capable enough, we've all gone through a formal education of 20, 25 years. Only after that, we have acquired all the necessary skills to become successful at whatever we are doing, right? But when it comes to trading and financial markets in general, I have seen that many traders come with very unrealistic expectations. They want to start making profits right from the day one. Is it a correct approach? I don't think so, because markets are also as complex as your job or business. Market also needs some specialized training. Once you learn regarding the markets, learn from people who have already been in the markets, learn from the market itself. Only after that, you can expect the market to pay you some money. So with that positive note, let us start with the session today. And let me also tell you, in the end of this webinar, I am going to give you a small special surprise to all of you, surprise gift. So try to stay towards the end. And apart from that, there is going to be a lot of learning, good learning experience also. So it's better that we all stay towards the end and learn as much as possible from this webinar today. Now, I have already introduced myself to all of you. Correct. So here are the topics for the day one. First of all, I'll ask some questions to the audience so that I come to know about my audience as well. Then secondly, we'll go and see why systematic trading. We are going to learn a lot about systematic trading in this workshop. So it makes sense to see, first of all, what are the advantages of systematic trading. Then we'll learn what is support and resistance, which is one of the very basic and very important concepts to traders. And fourth, we have to learn about technical analysis, and then we'll learn about certain indicators. So as I told you, I would like to know my audience very well. So here I would like to ask all of you a few questions. I would request all of you to participate and answer each and every one of these questions. Only if all of you answer, I'll come to know what kind of audience I have, so that I'm able to decide what should be my pace in the webinar, what small topics I should be covering, right? So it's very necessary that all of you participate. And anyways, I want this session to be interactive. I don't want that I am only speaking. I want you also to be there and speak. I want all of you also to let me know if you have any doubts in the chat, and I'd be very, very glad to help all of you. So let us come to the first question. Since how long have you been in the markets? Kindly write to me in the chat and let me know. What has your experience been? Okay. Mr. Pankaj is here for 3 months. Okay. 2 years, 3 months, Mr. Venkatesh. Mr. Joyce, 6 months. Okay. Mr. Anand, 4 years. All right. Mr. Dayanand, 1 year. Mr. Kiran, 3 months. Mr. Hari, 10 years. Mr. Anand, 4 years. All right. So very well. I see that we have people who have experience of more than 10 years also. We have people who have just started out within last couple of weeks or months. So I'm very, very glad to see such a diversity in our webinar, in our workshop today. And let me assure you, this workshop is going to be helpful for all of you, newcomers as well as advanced traders, because in this webinar, I will be covering some very important basic and some very important advanced level concepts also. And the most important thing is we are going to keep the language as simple as possible. I want each and every one of you to understand all the concepts that I am going to explain. So our focus will be in keeping the language very, very simple. Let us come to the second question. Do you spend a lot of time looking at the charts, and how much time do you usually spend every day? Let me know your answers in the chat. Okay, Mr. Pankaj is spending about 1 hour a day. I see. Okay, Mr. Anand has also been spending about an hour a day. So, okay, Mr. Hari, 1 hour. Okay, Mr. Kiran, about 1 to 2 hours a day. Mr. Krishnan, 20 minutes. Okay, Mr. Anish, half an hour. Mr. Joyce, 2 to 3 hours per day. All right. So it depends a lot on how many stocks we are tracking and how frequently we trade, right? As traders, it would be better if we try to minimize the time that we spend on the charts, because looking at the chart, spending so much of time every day, it's not going to give us a good amount of, I mean, it's not going to improve our trading a lot, right? So because the more amount we spend looking at the charts, there's going to be fatigue, tiredness, etc. And the time that we are spending in looking at the charts could be utilized somewhere else as well. So we'll try to see certain techniques which can help us minimize the time that we spend on the charts as well. Let's come to the third point. Have you used technical indicators, and which indicators have you been using? Kindly write to me in the chats and let me know. Any indicators that you've used, RSI, EMA. Okay, Mr. Venkatesh has used Supertrend, RSI, EMA. All right. Mr. Kiran has used Supertrend, EMA. That's very well. Moving averages, RSI, Supertrend, that is Mr. Anand, Mr. Hari, EMA, RSI, ADX, that's great. Mr. Anil has used EMA, Supertrend, RSI. Very well. So I'm, first of all, great, very happy to see Mr. Meet has used Ichimoku. So I'm very, very happy to see that a lot of you have already started using technical indicators. Mr. Shiva, I think you are facing a problem of echo. Is everyone else also facing problem of echo? Can you please confirm in the chat? All right. So, Mr. Shiva, I think it's a problem with your system only. No one else has been facing the problem of echo. So, if anyone is facing problem of echo, it's not from our end. Please try to reconnect, rejoin the webinar, and it might be fine. So, yeah, a lot of you, as I was telling you, have already used technical indicators. I'm very, very happy to see that. Some of you do not know about technical indicators. Do not worry. In this workshop, I'll be teaching you about some of the technical indicators as well. So at any given point of time, if you're facing any difficulties, if you have any queries, you can directly write to me in the chat. I'll be very, very happy to resolve them. So why systematic trading? Let us have a look at some good points which are in favor of systematic trading. So reduced stress. When we trade without a system, we are constantly worried about our trades because we are not prepared to deal with the uncertainties in the market, correct? Secondly, higher probability of surviving in the market. Systematic traders trade only after developing trading strategies which are well tested and have proper risk management. This increases that probability of surviving in the markets. Thirdly, better strategy execution. I have seen that many traders, even after developing successful trading strategies, they are not able to become profitable because they are not able to enter and exit at correct time and correct price. Streak system helps them solve this problem. Reduced risk of human error. So as we all know, we humans end up making a lot of errors while trading, be it incorrect quantity, reading the signals incorrectly, using incorrect indicator parameters, etc. By using a systematic approach, we can avoid all of these errors. Fourthly, unbiased trading decisions. So there are numerous psychological biases such as anchoring bias, confirmation bias, hindsight bias, etc., due to which traders are not able to take unbiased decisions when trading discretionarily. That is where systematic trading comes to rescue. So you must have heard about the term impulsive shopping. And I'm sure all of us must have done that at least once. So what is impulsive shopping? It is basically when you end up buying something that you do not really need. Often this happens after we look at an advertisement, or we are influenced by the purchases made by our friends, right? So if you are a systematic trader, there is no risk of impulsive or emotional trading. This impulsive shopping, as traders also, we end up doing many times. Maybe after watching some random YouTube video, or by reading some article, or after reading some news, we end up impulsively buying or taking positions in some stocks. So all these things can be avoided if we become a systematic trader. Now, As I had told you, we are going to learn about two indicators also today. Before we learn about the indicators, it is very, very important that I teach you about some theory as well. So here, first of all, I would like to teach you about support and resistance. And after we learn about support and resistance, basics of support and resistance, then we'll learn about basics of trend analysis as well. So on the left side, we have support, and on the right side, we have resistance. So what is the level of support? So levels from which prices can bounce upwards or a downtrend pauses is called a level of support. So what is happening over here? The stock was continuously falling. From here, many buyers entered, maybe because they found that this price is lucrative. Then the stock bounced a little bit. It tried to come back again. So what happened is people observed, earlier people had observed that from this price level, the stock had bounced this much. So they missed this opportunity. Then a lot of traders over here again would be thinking that again what might happen is the stock can bounce back from here, so let us all enter. So a demand is created over here again, looking at the previous price movement. So again many traders enter over here and the stock bounces. So like this level starts becoming a level of support. That means it provides support to the stock whenever the stock tries to fall down. Okay, it is formed due to high demand at a particular price level. Many buyers might be considering the price level as cheap and a potential entry point. That is how levels of support are created. What is resistance? So levels from which prices can dive downwards or an uptrend pauses. So similar to this one, but just the opposite happens over here. What happens is prices are rising, rising, rising continuously. Suddenly what happens is prices are rising continuously. Suddenly what happens is sellers come in over here. Maybe people who entered over here have made already a good profit and they decided to exit over here. So the stock starts falling. It started recovering over here, but some other people who are holding the stock believed that since the last time stock moved downward from here, then there is a high chance that again from this price level the stock might start moving downwards. So what happens is again many sellers try to enter over here. They sell the stock and then the stock starts moving downwards. Again, next time if the stock price comes to the same price level, there is a high chance that it will start moving downwards. That is how level of resistance are created. The name explains itself. It is acting as a resistance. It is resisting the movement of the stock upwards. That is how the level of resistance are formed, and that is what a particular typical resistance level is. It is formed due to high supply at a particular price level. Many sellers might be considering the price level as high and a potential exit point or short entry point, right? So there are many methods of detecting or finding support and resistance levels. There are certain indicators also. There are certain other methods as well. We are going to stick to simplicity. So I will be teaching you about one of the indicators which can be used to detect or find out support and resistance levels very, very easily. It is one of the very popular indicators amongst intraday traders. We'll be learning about pivot points going ahead. So before that, I would want to teach you about the basics of trend analysis as well. So what is a trend basically? A trend is unidirectional general move in a stock price, uh, and that is what establishes a trend. So if supply and demand is biased a lot on one side, it gives rise to a trend. So what happens is, let's say demand is more in a stock, then what will happen? There will be a uptrend. If there is supply, a lot of supply in the stock, then what will happen? It will lead to a downtrend. That is how the trends are formed. So, for example, over here, we can again say that here the stock was falling, right? Now, a lot of investors would have realized that the stock has already fallen a lot and it is available at a cheaper valuation. So let us enter the stock. So a lot of investors, after doing their research, might have started entering over here at this price level. Then what happens is stock price will start moving because there is a lot of buying interest. Then once the stock price starts moving, we see that the stock price crosses above 200 moving average. It crosses above 50 moving average. Then there will be a lot of interest from technical traders also. They will also start entering. Then once the technical traders start entering, trend following traders will start entering, momentum traders will start entering, and that is how a trend is formed. But what will happen is at certain point, at certain given point, all the buyers who wanted to buy would have already bought. So there are no buyers left now, or there are very less buyers in the market. But many people are waiting to take their profits. They are just waiting when the stock stops going upwards or shows a little bit of bearishness. I will exit and take my profits. So here what happens is, as you can see, there are less buyers, more sellers. The stock is struggling to move upwards. And finally, people start dumping the stock and it starts falling down. And the same cycle repeats again. The way uptrend started, same way here, downtrend will start. Let's recall the Newton's first law of motion. Every body continues to be in a state of rest or uniform motion unless acted upon by an imbalanced force to make a change. So here again, as we saw, when buyers were continuously buying, the stock will keep moving upwards until and unless there is an opposing force by sellers over here. Here in this table, I have compared what is downtrend and uptrend. So formation of lower highs and lower lows makes a downtrend, and formation of higher highs and higher lows makes an uptrend. What are higher highs and higher lows? So basically, you will see that whenever stock moves, it does not move like this in a straight line, right? It will go up, come down, go up, come down, go up, come down. For example, over here, it is going up. It rested for a while, came down a little bit, again went up, again came down a little bit, again went up. So these are called swing lows. Whenever the stock is correcting, these are called swing lows. So if we see in a down uptrend, what happens is these lows will keep increasing. Same way, the swing highs also will keep increasing. That is how we recognize an uptrend. Whereas in a downtrend, what happens is the swing highs will fall and the swing lows will also fall. That is how we recognize a downtrend. But in this webinar, I'll show you indicator also. We'll see how Supertrend indicator works and how it can be used to analyze trends. So in an uptrend, the lines connecting the lows acts as a support. So if you connect all these lows, no, it will act as a support. And the support can be extended in the future to find the future support. So these are the two indicators that I've told you that we are going to learn about. We are going to learn about the standard pivot points, and then for trend analysis, we are going to learn about the super trend indicator. So let us go on the charts and see how the indicator works. Now, along with me, you should also open any chart and try to plot the indicators along with me. So let's say I'll open ICICI Bank chart. What we are going to do is we'll go ahead and apply the pivot points indicator. I'll change the time frame to 5 minutes. I'll go to studies. I'll type pivot points and I'll apply it. So as you can see, there are many lines which are getting created by this indicator. So what this indicator does is it will automatically create support and resistance levels for you. So these lines are very, very important. They act as support and resistance. For example, as you can see over here, today only, this line over here was acting as a good support for the stock. When the stock was falling, it came over here and this price level acted as a support. It provided support to the stock, buyers entered, and the stock bounced back a little bit. Same way over here, this line has acted as a line of resistance. And again, here also it is acting as a consolidation zone. Here also, this line has acted as a good support. Likewise, again, yesterday also, if you see, this line has acted as a level of resistance over here. So there is one rule that you need to remember. any of these lines can act as a level of support or resistance. So this line can be support also, can be resistance also. But how do you know if it is a support and resistance? You will have to check the price. If the price is higher than the line, then the line is acting as support. For example, right now the candle is higher than the this black line, right? It is also higher than this green line, and it is also higher than the third green line over here. So all these three lines are acting as support for the price right now. Whereas on the top, we have this line, red line, this line, and the other red line over here. So all these lines which are above the price are acting as resistance, right? Very easy to remember. All the lines which are below the price act as support. All the lines which are above the price act as resistance. So now let's say the price comes over here. Okay. Let's say it crosses below this black line and comes over here. Then the black line will act as resistance now. So that is the beauty of support and resistances. They can switch their nature. A support can become resistance and a resistance can become support. It all depends on where the price is right now. So right now, if the price is higher than the line, it is acting as support. If it comes below the line will start acting as resistance. So this is how you can plot. Okay, so Mr. Anand, this can be solved. For this query, I would request you to write to support@streak.tech. So as Mr. Anand has pointed out, I would also like to clarify this point to all of you. The levels, support and resistance levels by pivot points will keep changing based on the time frame that you are selecting. So if you are selecting 5-minute, 15-minute time frames, these levels are going to be different. If you go and select 1 day time frame, the levels will change. Again, if you change the time frame to 1 week or 1 month, the levels, support and resistance levels are going to change. So it depends on which time frame you are using. So you should be careful whenever you are trading. Choose the correct time frame that you trade in, and then only you check the support and resistance using the pivot points. So if you are an intraday trader, you would be trading on 5-minute, 15-minute, or 2-minute, 1-minute time frame. So accordingly, you select that time frame and the support and resistance levels will be plotted accordingly. So Mr. Anand, again, for your query, I would say, please write to support@streak.tech. Our team will definitely assist you. Let us learn about the Supertrend indicator now. I would like to clear this. So to plot the Supertrend indicator, we'll simply type Supertrend and we will plot it. Now it is one of the easiest indicators to interpret. What you have to do is to analyze the trend using this indicator. You simply have to look at the color. If the color of the indicator is green, it indicates that the trend is bullish. If the color of the indicator becomes red, that indicates the trend is bearish. This is all that you need to know about this indicator. Now, apart from this, there are other things also, such as the parameters of the indicator. So for example, there are many false signals also which are given out by the indicator. So there are certain settings, certain things that we can do to avoid these false signals and improve the efficiency of the signals further. Those techniques I'm going to teach you tomorrow in tomorrow's session. So all of you be present to learn those techniques using which you can minimize the number of false signals. So there are a lot of false signals over here. For example, the trend is showing bullish over here, but suddenly it becomes bearish. Again, it is showing bearish over here, but suddenly it becomes bullish. So how can we remove these false signals also? These things we are going to cover tomorrow in our workshop. Now, so some of you must be wondering, is there any easier way than indicators also? Is there any easier way which I can follow to find out support and resistance levels, to find out trend, etc.? So what we have done is at Streak, we have developed something called technicals. So let's say in your market watch, you have a lot of stocks and indices, etc., right? So let's say I want to check the trend of Reliance. What I can do is I can click over here on more. I can click on technicals. So here it will automatically show you the trend. So if this pointer is on the left side, it means the trend is bearish. If the pointer is on the right side, that means it is bullish. And if it is in the middle, that means it is neutral. And you can do this on all different time frames, right? So if you have to do even more in-depth analysis, what you can do is you can click on this streak symbol on top over here. Please click over here. Or what else you can do is you can open this URL directly also, www.streak.tech. It will bring you to the homepage of the Streak platform. Then you will go over here in technicals. What technicals helps us do is it helps us create a smart watch list. I'll click on the create new list. I'll give it a name. And then we'll click on the create button. So what I can do is I can add whatever stocks or indices or currencies, commodities, etc. that I want to track. Let's say I want to track SBI and I'll add it. Let's say I want to track Ashok Leyland, I can add it. Reliance, I'll add it and click on done. So my smart watch list is created over here. So as you can see, I have many watch lists over here on top. You can also create multiple watch lists and keep a track of a lot of stocks. So what it helps us do is there is this pointer over here, right? It helps us analyze the trend, direction, and strength of the trend at the same time. Again, whatever we saw on the kite platform, it is the same tool which we are seeing over here. This tool over here we saw, right? This is also the same tool over here that I am showing to you on Streak platform. Right. So how do you check the strength? You can check the strength also. So to check the strength of the trend, you have to check the relative position of this pointer. If it is extremely towards the left, that means the trend is very bearish. If it is only slightly towards the left, that means the trend is only slightly bearish. Now to check the support and resistance, what you can do is you can click on that particular stock. Let's say I want to check support and resistance of Reliance. I'll click here. As you can see, right now, the Reliance is just between S3 and S2 levels. It is right between the S3 and S2 levels. What are these levels? These levels are basically the lines that we were seeing on the chart. When I plotted the pivot point lines, pivot point indicator, right? That plotted S1, S2, S3 lines on the chart. The same thing we are showing over here, but in a more easier way. So how you can use this is, what I can do is I can do trend analysis over here. If trend is bearish, I will go and check over here, what is the stock doing? If the stock is right below a resistance level, then I might think of taking a short trade. But let's say if the stock is right above a support level, then it might not be a good idea to go and short that stock. Now I can do that analysis on multiple time frames by clicking on these buttons over here. Right. So what it does is it helps us do multi-time frame analysis also very, very quickly. Once you are sure enough, if you want to take trades, what you can do is we have provided buttons also on the right side. You can click on any particular button. You'll be able to place buy and sell orders also from here. And if you scroll down, you will see that a lot of different indicators have been combined together to create this wonderful tool. So this tool is basically taking feedback from all these different indicators. That is how it is able to show us the direction and strength of the trend. Now imagine if we have to manually check so many indicators, it is going to be an impossible task, correct? So as an homework, after this session, we are almost towards the end. As an homework, what I would request is you go and create a smart watch list of your own on the Streak platform. That is the first homework. Secondly, using the indicators that we have discussed, what you can do is you can try to create scanners also on your own. To create scanners, what you can do is you can go to Streak platform. You will click over here on scanners. Then you will click on the create button. There you can create your scanners. So do not worry if you're not able to do it. Tomorrow, we are going to show you how you can create scanners and strategies also on the Streak platform. If you're not able to create your own scanners, do not worry. Here we have provided a lot of Discover scanners. Those are pre-made scanners. You can go through these pre-made scanners as well. Now, let me tell you about the surprise or the special gift that I was going to give to all of you. So since all of you have been towards the end of this webinar along with me, and since all of you have taken a small step towards learning about technical analysis and trading platforms, what I'm going to do is we will give you 3 days of ultimate plan free of cost. Okay, for that, what you have to do is I will just share a link. We'll share a link in the chat. In that link, you just have to paste your ID. Okay, just fill the form. You provide your phone number and your broker ID. We will activate 3 days of ultimate plan, which is the best plan that we have. I will give you 3 days of the best plan that we have so that you, along with me, you try the platform also. After going through our videos or after going through the workshop, you go home and then later on you try whatever we have learned. So in the chat, you would have seen a link. We have shared a link, a form, Google form. Please fill this form and then we will activate right after this webinar. Within a few minutes, we'll activate your plans so that you can start using the platform. And I would also like to introduce you to the plans that we have. What you can do is on the Streak platform, if you click on so let's say if you click on the profile section over here and then go to pricing page, you'll be able to see that we have two plans. And if you want to take personal sessions, let's say this is a group session that we are having right now, a group workshop. If you want to take one-on-one personal sessions, then we have provided that in our 1 year ultimate plan. If you are going for annual ultimate plan, we provide 3 handholding sessions as part of special workshop offer. I am providing this. Generally, people get only 1 hour of handholding session with the annual ultimate plan. But since all of you have attended my workshop, I'm going to provide a special offer. If you continue and subscribe to the yearly ultimate plan, we'll provide you 4 months of ultimate plan free of cost. That is, you will be paying 30% less. There are 3 offers that we have. You'll be paying 30% less. 30% discount will be given if you're going for a 12 months plan. Along with that, you'll also get 4 months of extra subscription. Along with that, as a part of special workshop offer, we'll provide you 3 handholding sessions, 30 to 45 minutes each by our experts. Our experts are well-educated, well-trained people in the financial markets. And these are going to be personal sessions, not like this session. It will be personal one-on-one session. And the best thing is you can decide your own time. You can decide your own language also. We understand all of you are working people. You might not find time at a on a particular day or at a particular time. So you can decide your session anytime in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Anytime you can take the handholding session by our experts, and you can take it in any language also. If you are comfortable in Hindi, you can take the sessions in Hindi. If you are comfortable in English, you can take the sessions in English as well. Right. So this is the special offer or surprise offer that I wanted to share with you. And please note the handholding offer, 3 handholding offer is available only with the 12-month ultimate plan only. Along with that, you are also getting 30% off and 4 months of extra subscription. Now to activate this special, since it is a special workshop offer, what you'll have to do is after you subscribe, just drop me a mail on my email ID. That is support@streak.tech. Just drop me a mail and mention, Alok, after watching your webinar, I have subscribed to the annual plan. Just mention one line, that much is enough. I will see which plan you have subscribed accordingly. We'll give you 4 months extra and we'll send you a mail to schedule your 3 handholding sessions also. So again, let me repeat, these are going to be personal sessions. Now let us quickly see what we are going to cover on the day 2. We'll learn how to translate your ideas into strategies. We'll see how to track your favorite stocks, how to do automated paper trading without risking your capital. And then we'll see how to scan for opportunities. Now, if you have any doubts, what you can do is you can raise your hands. I'll unmute you and you'll be able to speak to me and clarify your doubts. So if anyone wants to speak and get their doubts clarified, please raise your hands. So, Mr. Shravan Kumar, like I told you, if you want help in getting your strategy created, do not worry. My team is there. I am there to help you out. Just drop me a mail on my email ID, support@streak.tech. We'll be very, very glad to help you out. So if anyone wants to speak, they can raise your hand. I'll be very, very glad to unmute you and clarify your doubt. Okay, so Mr. Cave wants to speak. Yes,
Hello.
sir. Please go ahead and ask your doubt.
Sir, how to find the Nifty support and resistance?
So to find Nifty support and resistance, what you can do is on the Streak platform. I suppose you are asking on the Streak platform, right?
Yes.
So again, what we can do is we were creating the smart watch list, right? In the smart watch list, you can add so in the same watch list, we can add, I can click here. I'll be able to add Nifty 50 also. So here you'll be able to track Nifty 50 as well. Right? This is how it works. Okay, Mr. Manoj wants to ask a question. So yes, Mr. Manoj.
Yes. Hi. How is it possible to backtest on expired contracts?
Yes, Mr. Manoj, you can backtest your strategies on expired contracts also. You can do it for futures and options as well. You'll be able to, we have expired data from March 2020 onwards. You'll be able to do from March 2020. So, Mr. Anand, yes, the ID is basically in the format of XY0047, something like that. Your kite ID would be something like that. 2 letters and then 4 numbers. Yeah. So, Mr. Anand, please share that only. So, Mr. Anil, I would request you to send this query to my email ID, support@streak.tech. Let us see how we can help you out. All right, Mr. Anand, I hope I have clarified your doubt. We will get it corrected definitely. But whatever ID you see over here, right? This is the ID that we want. So, Mr. Somu, currently we do not have currency options. Yes, Mr. Kunal, please go ahead and ask your query.
सर मैं हिंदी में पूछ सकता हूँ क्वेरी मेरी?
Sure.
सर ये जो ट्रायल पीरियड आप दे रहे हो, मैं लाइव ट्रेडिंग कर सकता हूँ क्या इसमें?
जी, आप लाइव ट्रेडिंग, पेपर ट्रेडिंग सब कुछ यूज कर पाएंगे। जो 3 डेज का अल्टीमेट हम लोग फ्री दे रहे हैं उसमें आप सारी चीजें यूज कर पाएंगे।
ओके, और कमोडिटीज के अंदर भी ट्रेड कर सकता हूँ मैं इसी पीरियड में?
जी हाँ, सिंस ये अल्टीमेट प्लान का हम ट्रायल दे रहे हैं, आप कमोडिटीज में भी ट्रेड कर पाएंगे।
ओके, थैंक यू।
So if anyone has any queries, please do let me know. I'll be very, very happy to clarify. Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll end this session, but we'll be available for a bit in the chat. If you have any queries, you can let us know. Thank you, everyone. Take care. See you tomorrow. Do not forget to tune in tomorrow at the same time. With the same link, we'll have the day 2 of this workshop where we are going to learn new exciting things. Like I told you, we are going to learn how to create strategies, how to create scanners, how to do paper trading, etc. on the day 2. And I was also going to teach you how to find the best parameters for your indicators. Thank you, Mr. Hari. Thank you very much. Mr. Hari is saying great session. Thanks. I'm glad that you liked the session, Mr. Hari. Thank you, Mr. Anand. Thank you, Mr. Joyce. Thank you very much. I hope all of you had a great learning experience. Goodbye, everyone. Take care. Thank you, Mr. Anil. Thank you very much.